Yeah, but he did kind of that. I don't know if he actually did that or if other people did that for him. But I shook on him because that's what I like. But I noticed a lot of the new people that he's met as he's gone into his career. Oh yeah, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Dan?
Yeah.
But there's not another one that confusion.
So all this sound equipment, who owns
The church. Who's owning it? It's me and Tim and Dave put our money together.
y'all went to building this?
This is, wasn't this, did Bobby do this? Or maybe with Bobby, yeah. Yeah, this shot goes back to,
Crafted by Bobby Williams and Miles.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking it goes back that far.
I didn't know he was hurt. We went down to see Bobby at Dale.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah.
That was fun. That was.
I have a friend that's from there and he goes, why in the world would you want to go there? He's from there.
Who was?
Just a guy that I used to work with.
Yeah.
He was kind of my yeah, he was, he got out of Panama. He was
Well,
black.
Panama is a place that you want to get fit.
That's kind of,
Bobby and Dale, they barely, they don't really have it. It's a place on the road.
place on the road.
It's a place on the road. You don't get mail. You have to have a place.
Yeah.
You pay to get your mail sent to you. Like, buy a box. You'll say that's my address. And you just go there when you want to get your mail.
Yeah.
And nobody.
I thought it'd be nice to go there and spend some time, not necessarily live there. Of all the places, I like the idea of picking altitude for your flying. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, no, it's probably right down they don't have
Right,
they don't have that.
Yeah, they don't have it.
The temperature varies about 16 degrees.
Yeah, my
Oh,
join us if you want to thank somebody for being your friend. I'm thanking you. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off. Won't you stand up and take a bow? If you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. 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 Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off. Won't you stand up and take a bow? And when we both get older, with walking canes and hair of gray, have no fear, even though it's hard to hear. I will stand the coast and say, thank you for being a friend. 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 I wanna thank you. Thank you for being a friend. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. I know we Good morning, y'all. That was beautiful. Let me tell you, every time we do that song, it makes me think of, have you seen that Facebook quiz, which golden girl are you? Yeah, I'm Dorothy. I'm Dorothy. Blanche! Oh, are you Dorothy too? Well, all right. Yeah, I can see you as a Dorothy. Well, it's very important that you find out which golden girl you are. Because it's very, and after you find out which golden girl you are, you can go see Nikki and she'll get you sorted into the right Harry Potter house. That's right. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Music City. This is a place of authentic transformation and sometimes a little bit of fun. And that's authentic too. A few quick announcements. First, I just want to put this on your radar. We'll be celebrating our holiday meal on December 8th following the service. That's so far out. I can't get past tomorrow. I think it's 4 weeks from now, something like that. Bring your favorite potluck dish to share. Any hot dish in a crock pot. I know. I have like 10 things to say and I can't say any of them here. Bring a hot dish in a crock pot.
No, Jill, Dan won't fit in the crock pot. There's a sign-up sheet on the bulletin board by the Namaste Cafe, or see Susan Hurt. There's Susan right back there at the back. See Susan so that we can kind of coordinate this so that, 3 different people don't try to put Dan in a crock pot. That'd be a problem, wouldn't it? Gift of Change. I want to remind you about the Gift of Change as well. It's next Sunday, the 24th. Usually is that the last Sunday? I guess it is. Next Sunday, the 24th. Remember, we save up our change throughout the month and bring it up for the Sacred Walk of Abundance. So next Sunday, please remember to do that. Today, after the service, we have a Unity membership meeting. We talked about this last week. Those of you who stayed last week for the Real Talk session, you know what a lot of important work that we did there. This meeting, I have been told, is going to last about 2.8 minutes.
There you go.
According to Becky Estarita. Yeah, it's not going to last very long at all, hopefully, so we want to be respectful of your time, so know that we'll try to get you out of here as quickly as possible. Saturday, November 23rd, that's this Saturday. Is it this Saturday? I'm lost, Dan. I'm totally lost. This Saturday, November 23rd, is the Unity Family Dog Walk at Stones River Greenway in Hermitage. It's going to start up at 10 a.m. Meet at the Kohl's parking lot, and Ann Coverdale. You can see her for more information. I don't know if I see Ann here. Sunday, November 24th, that is next Sunday. There is a writers group meeting in the Namaste Cafe at 12:30 or right after the service. If we have an altar call, it'll be 12:45. So, yeah, we might have an altar call. So right after the service, the writers group. Yeah, thank you. Speaking of which, so now let's stand up and sing Just As I Am. No, we'll sing something else. Come on. Hey, this is an echo. You can sing with me, you can sing with them. I might need the help. Saved and sanctified with that right there. That's what we used to call it in the Nazarene Church, saved and sanctified. All right, coming up on Sunday, November 30th. That is 2 weeks from today, I believe. Actually, this is on Saturday. This is Saturday. It says Sunday on here. Saturday, November 30th. Dosi Lavero from Sedona, Arizona will be here doing a workshop from 11 to 1 on the 5 stages of the soul transformation process. So we're a place of authentic transformation. She ought to fit right in. Put that on your calendar if you would have mind to. Lunch Bunch is ongoing Wednesdays at 11:30, looking at the Gift of Change by Marianne Williamson. And Reverend D is going to come up and give us a little talking to about the Wednesday night. A talking to. We're going to get a talking to. Get ready.
That's what my mama used to do.
We're gonna learn today.
It's not going to be that at all. I know that we're getting ready to go into the holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and some of us still have a little bit of challenge with some of the people around the table that come there, right? Just a little. And so, a lot of times we have a Thanksgiving Eve service, but this year we're in the middle of the 12 steps. This coming Wednesday night is making a list of the people you need to make amends to. And the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving is deciding to go do that. I encourage you, if you have any of those issues, I do, of people that show up at the Thanksgiving table and you're like, pass the potatoes here. Pass the potatoes. So, again, even if you have not been in this entire series that we're doing, which is the 12-step program for Richard Rohr, and you think it would be beneficial for you to make a list of people you need to make amends to, and then to begin the process of doing that, join us this Wednesday night. See, that wasn't a bad talking to.
This is not the same list that Santa makes, is it? It's a different list, okay.
But if you don't do this work, you may not be on Santa.
That's right. There you go. All right, all right. So come on out and join us Wednesday night at 7 p.m. B? Good morning.
It is a pleasure to look at your beautiful faces out there. You can sit down at my Thanksgiving table anytime. So, we seem to be in the middle of November somehow. November, a time of harvest and Thanksgiving. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness, which moves beyond words into actions. And as we journey through this season, we will be sharing readings from Psalms for Praying, An Invitation to Wholeness by Nancy Merrill. Let's each remember, thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness, which moves beyond words into actions. And so, the affirmation. I am thankful for the love in my heart. Together. I am thankful for the love in my heart. And from Psalm 63. You are my beloved, and I long for you. My soul thirsts for you. All that is within me thirsts, as in a dry and barren land with no water. So I have called out to you in my heart, sensing your power and glory. Because your wondrous love is the very life in me. I will radiate that love as long as I live, becoming a blessing to all those I meet. My soul feasts as with a magnificent banquet, and my mouth sings joy-filled songs. When I ponder on your kindness and meditate on love throughout the night, that same love becomes my salvation in the morning, and in the morning I sing for joy. My soul clings to you. Your love upholds me. The fears that seem to separate me from you shall be transformed and disappear. They shall be gone, as in a dream, when I awaken. My soul shall rejoice in you, my beloved. All who open their hearts to love will live in peace and joy. And from 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love. Perfect love drives out all fear. I am thankful for the love in my heart.
And so as we settle into our seats, just do a reset breath. I actually heard some of that reset breath, and I have a feeling we need to do another one a little bit bigger than that. Just let it all go. And as you allow the breath to start coming back in, we affirm together, I am thankful for the love in my heart. I am thankful. Thankful is the first step towards living a life of abundance and gratitude. What are the things that I am still unaware of that I need to be thankful for today? And what would my actions of gratitude be in those areas? So we're going to do another reset. Just let it all go. And to be here. Be here in this place. Feeling your seat supporting you now. I begin to remember who I am. And the connection that I have to the energy that is all around me. Above me. Below me. Behind me. In front of me. To the left of me. And to the right of me. Knowing that above me is sky, sun, moon, stars, galaxy, cosmos, connection to something far greater than myself. And with my feet planted on the floor, below me is Mother Earth. And I pull her life energy up through the soles of my feet. Knowing that she has great lessons to teach me. And then I just visualize that behind me are the grandmothers with their amazing wisdom, supporting my journey and reminding me with each step that I take to walk together. And we visualize before us are our grandfathers who have walked some of these ways before. Paths of courage and strength. They remind me to keep the faith as I step forward. And in this now moment, I open my left hand and feel the mother's energy. Giving, loving, supportive, open. And I am open to receive the mother's love and compassion. And I open my right hand and I find the Father's, reminding us that there are tasks for us to do. There are action steps for us to take. And helping me decide which steps are mine. And I began to feel my spot in the center of all of this energy. And I ask first that I be humble and listen and be open. Help me to create a space within me for the right and perfect information to flow in and through me at all times. May the best and highest be reflected not only in what I think and speak, but also in the ways I choose to move forward in my walk on this earth. May I never forget that the air I breathe is a blessing. May I never forget that the water I drink is a blessing. May I never forget the animals, the trees, the rocks, the plants. And may I never forget that we are all in this together. No matter what tribe or family I come from. I am thankful for the love in my heart. Moving into the silence. The silence. Living, loving Spirit, I have been connected in ways that are beyond myself this morning. To the sky, to Mother Earth, to the grandmothers that are walking behind me, to the grandfathers that are edging me on to move forward, to the compassionate, loving mother energy, and to the father energy that is my cheerleader saying, you can do this. connect each of us today to that deeper dimension as we do most important thoughts, feelings, and works and actions today. Show us your way. And in the name of all that is sacred and holy, we say amen and amen.
So, I don't usually do a lot of talking before singing because I usually let the music speak for itself, but a lot of you know that for about a 6-week period of time in August and September, Frank and I sold a house, found a house, bought a house, and moved. It was a bit of a stressful time. And the night before we signed the mortgage and moved, which we did in an 8-hour period, I was sitting in this big long line at the drive-thru, and I was feeling it. I felt like I was kind of separating and coming loose. And I knew I needed to ground. And one of the main ways for me to ground as a musician is through music. So I reached for the radio to find something to listen to, because I knew that that Spirit would give me whatever I needed to listen to ground me. And I promise you, when I reached for the dial It was as if my hand was slapped away. Not slapped away, but moved away. And I thought, what? What was that? And I heard, that's not what you're supposed to listen to. I have what you need to hear. And I thought, okay. And this is what I heard. I need to be still, let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When this old world tries to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. I need to relax, let God take over. I need to relax, let God take over. And take this load right off my shoulders. I need to relax, let God take over. When there's trouble all around me, and my soul cries out for rest, when I feel that I am falling, even though I've done my best, when decisions get so heavy, and there are answers that I need, I know it's time to just be still. Let God love me. Need to be still. You can sing it with me. And let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When this old world tries to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. When this old world tries to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. Thank you for singing with me.
We hear that a lot. But what does that really mean? What does it really mean in your life to be still and trust that what's coming through is yours? Some of you may have read Denise's Daring Daydreams and know that we're going to be talking about shifting consciousness this morning. Actually, we're going to talk about the first 4 steps this week and the second 4 steps next week. So even if you can't be here next week, you need to dial in to the YouTube channel or get it later, because you don't want to hang out in step 4 if you're able to go further than that. You know, a lot of people in New Thought talk about raising consciousness. So some of the slides that I'm going to use today come from Eckhart Tolle, who wrote a book years ago called The New Earth. And if you haven't read it, get it. Read it again, read it again, read it again. It talks about how to shift the consciousness on this planet and create heaven on earth, because that's our job. That's why we came here. Hint, hint. How are we doing? The awakening of consciousness is the next evolutionary step for mankind. And quite interestingly, yesterday I'm on the state steering committee for the Tennessee Interfaith Power and Light. And I was in Crossville yesterday, and our conversation was about how do we have these conversations with fundamental Christians who do not believe in climate issues. Some of you are giggling and get it. And how do we raise consciousness with people who are pushing back on every side? Well, go into your place of knowing that you do the same thing sometimes. We all do. We all push back because Ryan gave a great story of understanding that when I'm dealing with something and I'm struggling with it, my first reaction is, I don't want to. And then one of the conversations we had yesterday is in some of the fundamental religions, they think God's going to fix it. So I don't have to do anything. I don't have to change anything that I'm doing to affect this climate issue, because if I pray rightly, God's going to fix it for me. So, I want you just to listen to this, and then I want us to read it aloud together. I am not my thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, and experiences. I am not the content of my life. It may feel weird for you at first. Keep hanging in there. I am life. I am the space in which all things happen. I am consciousness. I am the now. I am, which is the experience I assisted helping some of you step into in the meditation. And what I can feel in the room right now is some of you are like, oh yeah. And some of you are like, huh? And some of you are like, whoa. And that's all okay, because that's shift in consciousness. This may be the first time you've ever heard of even Eckhart Tolle in the world. Some of you are going, who's that? That Eckhart Tolle man? Who's that? Some of you know all about that book and watched Oprah Winfrey have discussions with him about this book. It made a huge difference, even in New Thought on our planet. To understand that I am in the center of all of this, and it's a holotrophic universe, and everything that's out there is in me too. It's all the same. I'm all one with everything. So I want you to read this aloud with me. I am not my thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, and experiences. I am not the content of my life. I am life. I am the space in which all things happen. I am consciousness. I am the now. I am. Have a conversation with somebody beside you if you can even articulate what's going on inside you right now. So today's lesson is about falling asleep in a field of daisies. And what I want to say to you is we've all fallen asleep in a field of energy. And not even realize it. Not even have a clue at times that this universe is supporting us, and we just kind of go to sleep. And we don't know it. And that's not a bad thing, it just is, and you have to admit it first. 12 steps. I gotta admit that I got a problem, and I went to sleep and didn't realize the mess I had created or that I was even in. Does that make sense? Dorothy has gone through already a lot of experiences and created her circle of 5, circle of 3, but circle of 5 people. She's got the journey moving forward, and she's even met Glinda the Good Witch, who fills her mind full of good, wonderful thoughts. But guess who else there is out there? Who fills her mind with negative thoughts?
Not today, Satan.
Get thee behind me, Satan. That's exactly what we do. There are times that I listen to Glinda the Good Witch, and there are times that I get pulled by this thing. And when I get pulled by this thing, Lord mercy, I can create a whole drama, just a tailspin right here in my own world. You ever watched yourself do that? And then at some point in time you go, I'm doing this myself. And I bet all my friends will be glad when I stop. Anybody ever heard that? That is a unity principle. We do say we live by that, but we forget because we fall asleep. In a field of daisies. In a field of energy, we forget. And so something happens around us, and all of a sudden I get sucked into all of that. Everybody breathe, because somebody held their breath really tightly just then. I felt sucked in like, Arr! Know that there are going to be 8 different shifts that I'm going to talk about over the next 2 weeks. And all of you can make all of them. You just have to allow them to happen. It's not like you have to be way, way, way smart and have 400 degrees to do this. You just have to go, okay, I'm willing. And then you have to be with people that remind you, whoops, your slip is showing. Dan doesn't even wear a slip, but he knows what I'm talking about. Well, he might or a slip. I don't know, but only Jill would know that. So 8 in numerology or spirituality is about balance and harmony and drawing to you perfect things, people, situations to move forward in your life. But look at what it looks like when you turn it on its side. Wow. Breathe. This is true for anything that can be foreseen for you. You understand that? No matter what happens, no matter who acts like a tutor, no matter what happens, you can have this if you don't fall asleep. If you fall asleep, you're going to create something from that energy, and that is not necessarily the best energy to create from, although all of us have done it. So before I run you through the first 4, and I'm going to run you through them because it's not anything you don't know, I'm going to call John Ricks up here because he has written an amazing letter to this congregation about the shifts and changes that are happening and Judy and I retiring and all of this. And I've heard it all from here to there. I've heard people go, I ain't never coming back, that's a mess. I've heard somebody in Wednesday night class told me that somebody that doesn't even go to this church said, oh, how awful, y'all will just close because Denise and Judy are leaving. I'm like, that's sad. So I need everybody just to breathe. No matter where you are in this moment, in this process, and this is not to make sure you keep your butts in the seat. You may decide today, my butt doesn't need to be in the seat, and that's okay. But it doesn't need to be because of fear. So, John.
Somebody's going to have to tell me if I hold this in the right place because I'm not used to that. So am I doing okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I went out of my way today before this to hug as many people as I could just so I would know I was talking to my friends and not talking to a bunch of strangers. I am just going to read this. I wrote it because I think it's an important message to this congregation. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I have heard that some think to leave us because of incomprehensible changes that are upon us. I do not believe that positive energy and affirmations alone will solve our problems. And yes, it's okay to say problems. Solutions require a clear understanding of the problems and the roadblocks. Once we have that clear understanding, then we apply all the positive energy within us and move forward. It takes mind, heart, and gut to make positive change happen. We have among us minders and hearters and gutters. I love the gutter. That's what I kept trying to figure another word, but that's what came out. Anyway. In fact, all of us to some extent have all 3 characteristics. Some are just stronger than others in different individuals. Do we have the collective will to establish and work together toward a common goal? And by collective will, I mean, are we willing? Are the minders willing to listen to the hearters and the gutters? Are the hearters willing to listen to the gutters and the minders? Are the gutters willing to listen to the hearters and the minders? Not just listen, but hear. Denise and Judy fed us, taught us, trained us for this moment. They've shared the music of angels, invited us to look at ourselves and find an honesty that we were afraid to see. They gave us permission to be. All of this that we might become spiritual adults, able to stand, walk, run, and carry our message to the world. Will we honor those lessons by running away? Shall we honor the strength and courage they sought to bestow by embracing fear? Or will we take those lessons and build upon them? We are this church. We are this community. We are not a building. Neither are we chairs or tables. We are neither podiums or platforms. We are not a piece of real estate. We are smiles. Somebody. Thank you. We are hugs, whether we need them or not. We are prayers. We are love without reason or motive. We are acceptance. We are an oasis in someone's desert. We are authentic transformers. So I ask you, no, I implore you today, as the song says, won't you stay just a little bit longer? Please, please, please say that you will.
I was going to say, Ryan, can you pull that one out of somewhere? That was an amazing letter, and when he sent it to me in an email, I said, oh, you've got to read that. Then there was a pregnant pause for a little bit. But you came back pretty quickly and said, yeah, I can do that. Because I think that one of the things that those of you felt last week in the Real Talks is that you began to hear what other people have to say. That's so important. Because we can get caught up in whatever our tapes are and go, oh dear God. And we've all got them. We've all got them. So we're going to work with stage 1 and stage 2, which are the 2 lowest conscious energies on our planet. And we've all been in both of them, and we will again be in both of them at times. A victim consciousness is that life is not safe, and so therefore, I'm not safe. No matter what's going on, I'm not safe. And it's everybody else's fault, and if everybody else would change, I would be safe. Safety doesn't come from out there. Safety comes in you doing what we did for about 15 or 20 minutes this morning in the silence. It's reminding who you are and getting in that still place and connecting to energies that are much bigger than you. And so some of us move to stage 2 thinking it feels better. You see that? So I'm going to control it. We already have people in this congregation that are doing that, sending emails. Bless her heart, Becky. My hat is off to you. I was in your position 20 years ago or so when Patricia left. And everybody and their brother and dog were sending me emails about what we needed to do tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's like, no, not tomorrow. But come to a meeting and talk to everybody. No, you've got to do this tomorrow. Do you hear that when you have that thought about yourself, even, and stuff that's going on with you, you're trying to control? We can't control any of this. One of the biggest lessons that all of us could get in New Thought is that we can't control anything. Do you realize that? I mean, some of you are going, yeah, my head, I can't control anything. Until I try. And then I try, why would we try so hard to control even when we know we can't? Fear! Did you hear B's reading this morning? We have to move from fear to love or nothing's going to work. When I make decisions from fear, it is always wrong. Always wrong. Hear me, I can make that statement because I've made a lot of them in my early years. making decisions based on fear because I thought I needed to run off and do something different. And then in the past, have you ever looked back and went, wonder what would have happened if I had done something different right there? But I didn't have that level of consciousness then. Do you understand that that's what we do? It's that wicked witch thing. And we listen to the wicked witch. And not only do we listen to her, but we call other people and tell them what the wicked witch said to me. And we write letters to people about what the wicked witch is saying. Law mercy. This is probably going to sound ugly, but I'm just going to say it. As a unity minister, I have attempted to teach for over 20 years, don't do that. What you put in writing is going whoosh to the universe. So why would you write about your fears and send it to somebody? I'm just asking. Why would we do that when we are new thought people and we're thinking we know what we're doing, but we're putting it out even bigger in the universe? The universe is going, well, okay, let's do this with fear. Find somebody to share it with, but not a massive group of people. Think about what's going on in the planet right now. And all the fears that are happening out in the world because of tweets and all kinds of stuff. Wow. Because somebody put it in writing and shoved it out there for everybody to see. So here's the next 2 steps that I encourage you to attempt to get into today more and more. And hear me, there's 4 higher than this. But a co-creator's life is knowing that life happens where? Do you remember that Eckhart Tolle thing we were talking about? You are life itself. And it happens on the inside of you. It's not happening to you. So on some level, this may be more than some of you can take in, your higher self knew this was coming. And your higher self went, okay. What was I thinking? You weren't. Can you hear that? You weren't. You were in the cosmic soup. And you signed up. And now you're going, I don't like this cosmic soup. Let me go jump over in that bowl of soup over there and see if it's better. Ooh. Do you realize that you're a creative being and that every thought you think and every emotion you feel and every word you speak and everything you write down is creating something in the universe all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time? I know some of you are going, yeah, I get that. I get that. I get that. Do I get that? Do I get that? If I did, I would not post the things I post on Facebook. If I did, I wouldn't tweet the things I tweet. If I did, I wouldn't say such things in the middle of a spiritual community. I wouldn't. I would only think positive thoughts moving forward. I would look at the truth of what is, but I would speak positive thoughts moving forward, or I would... If I can't get there, I'm not going to speak. The boy's daddy used to say to me, the best tool in the world is duct tape. Sometimes I need to not talk until I'm clear. Because probably everything that you need to say can be said in a loving, kind way, but that may not be the first thing that engages in your body. Get that? Stage 4, I have talked about before, and I've had a lot of people that get it, but they don't like it. Stage 4 is a receiver stage. Life happens for me. Everything that happens is for me, not against me. Dear God. Huh. Can you see how that's such a different space of consciousness than being a victim and thinking things are happening to me? Everything that's happening is for my evolution to move forward. And it's right and perfect, even when I don't like it. Again, that is not about whether you choose to keep your butts in these seats or you have seats somewhere else on a different lily pad. That is not the answer. The answer is this is happening for you. How can you get to that place and know that? You have to know I am loved and supported by the universe. Some of you, I could tell, felt that in the meditation this morning. Some of you got it. Know that we will do that same, sort of kind of that same meditation next Sunday morning. I want you to get that. That this energy is all around you. You're not in this by yourself. Even if your issues are not what's going on with the church, your issues may be in your personal life. You are not in it by yourself. Ever. So Ryan, I'm going to call you up here because the song you're going to sing is going to juxtapose into this. So the other musicians that are going to need to get in place probably need to start making their way up here too. That means praise and worship team, and Kenny's coming. This is another Eckhart Tolle quote. I love this quote. I have written it in my journal many times when I'm struggling with something that's going on in my life, my family's life. You know, this Friday morning, I had said to the universe probably about a week or two ago, I really want to spend more time with Zachary, my grandson. So Friday morning, before 7 o'clock, my phone starts ringing. It's Vicky, his mama. Well, of course, I'm like, why are you calling me before 7 o'clock? I said, Vicky, are you okay? No. I thought, oh, dear God, breathe, breathe, breathe. Everybody breathe, breathe. She said, well, Logan and I have been throwing up all night, and now we have diarrhea, and we got it from Zachary, and he can't go to daycare, and I'm afraid your parents will get it, and you need to be here soon. Bye. Here I am sitting in pajamas, no makeup, hair not done, drinking a cup of coffee. I was like, shit, excuse me. I live in Old Hickory. My parents live in Brentwood. Think about that. I drove like a bat out of hell all the way there. Thank the Lord a police officer did not get me. Some angel was there with me. The day ended up being magical. Vicki and Logan stayed back in the bedroom and did whatever they were doing, and I was not a part of that. But my grandson started feeling better, and I was able to bring him out and be with my 87-year-old parents, and we had the most magical, beautiful day we could have ever had. My mother held him while he slept. My daddy read a book to him and played with him. We get what we ask for. It may not come in the way we think it's going to come. That was not my idea, for everybody to get sick of me to rip over there like that. But it was a magical day. So I want you to hear this. You are not in the universe. You are the universe. An intrinsic part of it. Ultimately, you are not a person. But a focal point where the universe is becoming conscious of itself. Wow. What an amazing miracle. Ryan?
Sometimes at night, when I am afraid, cover my eyes, and I uncover the pain. So here in the dark, broken apart, come with your light, fill up my heart. Oh, great light of the world, fill up my soul. Well, I'm half a man here, so come make me whole. Oh, great light of the world, come to impart the light of your grace to fill up my The winds of this world can push us around, folding us up and backing us down. But here in the dark, I'm not alone. Come with your strength, carry me home. Oh, great light of the world, fill up my soul. And I'm half a man here, so come make me whole. Oh, great light of the world, come to impart the light of your grace. Oh, great light of the world, fill up my soul. I'm half a man here, so come make me whole. Oh, great light of the world, come to impart the light of your grace to fill up my heart. The light of your grace will fill up my heart.
Thank you, Brian, that was beautiful. I can think of no better moment to have our sacred walk of abundance. Just a reminder of next week to bring your change for the gift of change. Save it throughout the month, or if you haven't started, save it this week and bring it next week. If you'll take your tithes and offerings in your hand and say the affirmation with me, please. I live in the midst of infinite abundance. I give freely and fearlessly to life, and life gives back to me.
this place in this time. And we acknowledge many voices and many ideas and one spirit. One spirit that rises above all. Jesus, the master teacher, said, I came to overcome the world, not to fix the world. And so I breathe into what does that mean to me? What does it mean to overcome challenges? And so in this now moment, I rest in the knowing that all is well. All is well. All is well. And so it is. Amen.
I'll tell you what, you know what I'm going to take home with me today? My one nugget. Sometimes I am my own flying monkey.
We have that lesson coming in December.
Sometimes, yeah, there you go. Sometimes I'm a whole flock of flying monkeys. I think it's a flock. Say this with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yes, and tell all the folks in Bolivia and Argentina too.